Spotlight on Frazee is sponsored by these community-minded businesses and organizations. Frazee Family Foods. What a hometown grocery store should be. Friendly staff, family-owned, and a wide variety of groceries to fulfill your needs. The City of Frazee and Frazee Event Center, featuring a 5,000 square foot room, a built-in stage, and a full-service bar. Perfect for a multitude of events. Call or click to book your event.
Welcome to Spotlight on Frazee. I'm Rachel and this is Eric, and we are here today to tell you a little bit about his business, which is Eric Crabtree Hardwood Flooring. Welcome, Eric.
Hello.
So, can you start by telling me a little bit about yourself? Where are you from?
Well, I'm from Frazee here. Born and raised a dairy farmer that left home and went down south and got into the hardwood flooring business kind of on accident and fell in love with it 30 years ago. And here we are.
Great. So you came back to your hometown and started a new business here. Can you tell me a little bit about your business?
Well, I install or refinish hardwood flooring, laminate floors, vinyl plank, pretty much anything along those lines. Tear out the bad carpet and throw it away. Try to make the old look new again. They will literally last pretty much forever if you take care of them, and I provide the services and the back-breaking work to do that.
So a lot of your work involves like historic homes in and around the area and other places. Can you tell me a little bit about the history of things and why that's important to you?
I don't know if a lot of them are historic, really. It's just at the time they were built, the craftsmanship, in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and the detail they put into things in these old houses are, I think, to me, important to keep around. Not to knock my fellow craftsmen of today, but they don't hold a candle to the guys, and the houses don't either as far as that goes. It's just nice that there's people out there that want to keep them going, instead of tearing them down. Intricate detail that was put into some of these homes, it's just phenomenal. And then to go in and shine them up and keep them pretty, and livable, it's pretty important to me.
So what would you say your specialty is, restoring the floors or installing the floors?
Definitely refinishing. I try to stay away from installing as much as I can anymore because it's so rough on the body. What used to take me a week takes me a month nowadays, which, you get old and sore. Yeah. But I still do a few installs every year. I do a lot of patchwork, where if you've ripped walls out or you've changed the heating system and you got vent holes and stuff like that in the floors over the years, or where the cable companies have come and drilled 1,000 holes through it, I gotta, patch stuff. And water damage, stuff like that, there's always something, the old foundation settles, the house moves, and naturally the floor usually shows the signs, and just all kinds of stuff to do, and steps to bring it back to life and make it go another 100 years.
So if a homeowner was interested in having some restoration done on their floors, what would that process look like for them? Would you start with like an estimate perhaps?
Yes, you can get a hold of me several different ways, and I do free estimates. I like to come out and actually look at it. Sometimes people will send me photos and your pretty basic floors, like if you got a bedroom or something, send me some pictures what it looks like, and I can pretty much tell you what it's going to take and what it's going to cost. But it is nice to actually come out and get to meet you and see what you got going on and what you're after, and if you got pet stains or there was sparks from your fireplace popped out on the floor, stuff like that. you got to remember your floor is your most used thing in your house pretty much, and so there is aging and things like that you can't get back out of them, but a lot of times you can get the old spots and marks out, so it's preferable to come out and look at it, go that route and give you an estimate, and then go from there.
I would imagine that all those things lead to the personality and the characteristic in the floors and in the home to keep that old school kind of historical look, if that's what you're looking for, right?
Definitely.
So let's talk about cost effectiveness. Why should a person get their floors restored versus going and purchasing another variety of flooring?
Well, a lot of times if your house was set up for that hardwood floor that's in there, your door jambs, your casing, stuff like that, but if you tear it out to put in some laminate or this or that, or even go over top of it, a lot of times that ain't going to work. So you got all that labor involved. Well, then you got to change 20 other things to make the new product look good that you're going to end up replacing probably within 10 years because it don't last. Where maybe sometimes a little bit more of that initial cost to get your floor refinished, but it's going to last you another 20, 30 years sometimes, and you just come in and buff it down the road when you start to notice some signs of wear. And for a third of the initial cost, you put a new coat of finish on, and it's all brand new again. So there's a lot of good reasons to just maintain. There's maintenance in everything, pretty much everything you do in your life, and your floors are one of them, whether you have carpet or hardwood flooring or concrete even, you've got maintenance.
Absolutely. Let's talk about that maintenance. You mentioned how it can be a different time frame depending on the family, so
yeah,
often would they need to be restored in different family styles?
That's just it, how you use them. A lot of houses, like say you're on a lake and there's a lot of sand and you don't take your shoes off, you're bringing that sand in, which that's sandpaper, you're scratching it up. You're going to notice a lot more wear and tear, to where grandpa and grandma, who still has the plastic on their couch, they're 20 years down the road. Like I told you, I've been in on some of them that I've done, and it looks like I just did them yesterday. And I've been in some that I did a year ago, and they're ready to be redone again because, like I said, you got, little boys and big black labs and racing around and playing and hard toys and stuff like that. You just, it's different in every home, but as a rule, the finishes and stuff nowadays, they do last a lot longer, against UV and stuff like that, and they're a little bit harder finishes, but nothing is 100% scratch proof. So it's how you take care of them, how you move things.
So a lot of people might have contemplation about doing hardwood flooring because of the process and the mess that it makes, and I understand that the equipment's had some upgrades over the years, and that process is maybe a little more streamlined and easier. Can we talk about that a little bit? Because I know if I had someone coming in to do hardwood floors and it was going to mess up everything, that might be something I thought about as a homeowner. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it can get pretty dusty, but I've updated a lot of equipment now, and it all pretty much runs through a vacuum. I mean, you're down to about 99% dust free, which is it's pretty amazing. The two of the worst machines that created 100% of the dust are almost 100% contained now. So awesome. It is way better than it was 30 years ago when I started.
Can you tell us about some of your cooler projects that you've had?
Oh, there's some pretty cool ones, I guess. Like I was telling you earlier, when I first started, I was kind of a rookie, and I got thrown in on a monster project for a big university in North Carolina, and it was just a big laser cut medallion that I got glued down to the concrete in the middle of a big foyer, and then I pretty much hand scribed a American cherry herringbone design flooring all the way around it and hand cut everything, and it's just one of the ones that stuck with me, for my whole life pretty much since then. And and that's something that's going to be there with my mark on it pretty much. So I'm pretty sure I did sign something underneath, so if they ever tear it up, they're going to know who was there. But stuff like that. Fergus Falls, there was a door maker down there way back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and he did like handcrafted inlays in these big oak doors in these houses and trim work. And there's a few floors down there where I've mimicked that pattern that he put in the main house door, and I did it in the floor with a custom border, stuff like that. There's some pretty cool ones around that I've been involved in. It's kind of, them are the ones that really make you kind of want to keep doing it. Otherwise, 99 out of 100 of them are just a plain old floor, but they all have their own character. It's how they were treated over the years, and that's a part of them.
So we talked a little bit about maintenance and when to call. So to wrap it up, could you, just say, hey, if you're interested in some services, these are the things to look for and when to call, and give our audience your contact information?
Yeah, one of the biggest ways when, you think it's time to do your floors, especially if you have other projects going on, you might as well get all the construction done at one time, if it is, in your budget. When you start noticing traffic, going from your living room to your kitchen, you'll start seeing wear trails and marks in the finish, or when you start getting too deep of scratches in that finish where they're not going to buff out no more, you need to sand it back down to the raw wood. And I'm pretty much here for all your hardwood floor services. You can go online or look up Eric Crabtree Hardwood Floors on Facebook. There is a large amount of photos on there from all types of floors, or you can just give me a call at 218-850-8064.
Well, thank you, Eric. Thanks for being here, and thank you guys for joining us. And this is Spotlight on Frazee.